Okay, my friend. If you've just tuned in for the first time, I want you to know right off the bat, I'm not like anybody else. And I'm going to say a lot of things that you're not going to like because, frankly, you've never heard them before. The world to me is one big what? What? What is this? What? Yesterday, you may not care about this, but yesterday, Mrs. L and I were tooling about, and we went to a place called the American Dream Mall. It's in Bergen County, and it's right next to MetLife Stadium where the Giants are playing. It's this huge mall, huge, with a Ferris wheel, and we had to go there. And I love malls. To me, it's like being a rat in a maze who loves the maze, just loves to observe. Love it. I love it. And make a long story very short, we walk in, and it's very posh, And there's this, and everything is, again, it's wonderment to me because it's a cacophony of human beings all brought together. But we noticed this store is closed and this store is closed. And we found out Bergen County, New Jersey, along with, I think, Passaic, maybe, has, to this day, blue laws. Now, wait. Blue laws. Certain stores cannot be open on Sunday. So I looked at this app. I said, what is this? And I knew there were blue laws. I never really came into contact with it. This year 2022. What is this about? About bars closing? No, it's Sunday. It didn't make any sense. I looked at my app, and lo and behold, Sephora's open, but not Saks. Or I said, wait a minute, what? How does this? Who paid off? How does this? What? It doesn't matter. Blue laws. Fascinating. Fascinating. Okay. We had to get something. So we're going to go to this other place. Right across from Newark Airport. Right there on a route on the turnpike. What's it called? The Hills Have Eyes? Or what's it called? Or? No, it's called Jersey Gardens. The Mills. I knew it was Mills. The Mills, the Pills. It was, for me, heaven. I hate people, but I was a rat in a maze. And I was amazed. Oh my God, were there people like you cannot believe, all circling, looking for a parking space. And I'm walking, and people are saying, hey. I felt like some kind of I must say this, like a hooker in the 40s in Shanghai, with like some, people were like, hey, just like pointing fingers at me, and I was like they just were pointing at me. Where are you parked? Are you parked here? Can we follow you? Where are you? And I'm trying to ignore them because I'm thinking it was so savage. Thinking, this is barbaric. So finally I started to get right around the Yugo. It's a stretch, which of course I got to push people away all the time because they want to stare at it. Wait a minute. So as I walk up, I see this one guy, and I see him. He's all by himself, and I said, this is for you. I've got this because I'm a beautiful human being. I'm saying, this is for you. So he's got put his lights on, put his blinker on. That's the universal sign for, I got dibs on this. All of a sudden, this guy comes up this way. I'm not going to mention ethnicity, but was a Mexican, looked like a Mexican family. I always like to just describe people, not because it's just, I say Mexican, could be South American, I don't know. But this was the most aggressive driver you've ever seen. So he comes around, And he's ready. He's like, he's just like running it. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Because I'm thinking to myself, he was here first. He's got his lights on. I also gave him the okay. I'm giving him this. I don't know if I have any authority to do it. I'm thinking, what's the law? Is this like some possessory interest? I'm conveying title to this or license. And anyway, so what I did was, I thought, okay, how do I do this? Well, what I did was, I backed out. Okay, you got this? This guy's over here. He's behind me. I backed out so that this guy I pulled in front of, giving this guy the room to move in. This guy's yelling at me. This guy's giving me the high five. And I thought, this is the most incredible thing in the world. This is human. This is like gladiator sporting. People are driving around and it's just wild. Looking for cars. And you know the best part? Ready for this? If you just went a little bit and walked, there's plenty of parking. You gotta walk. Oh no. I'm going to a mall. You're gonna be walking miles in a mall. But you've got to park 5 feet in front. I mean, this is heaven for me. Heaven. I love it. Oh, I love it. Food courts. And we look, what do we see? Look for the bags. Look for the bags. Look for the bags. Look for the bag. Do they have shopping bags? I look up and see, how's the economy? Burgeoning. Are they buying things? Look at the cashiers. An ecumenical, I'm looking at this was America. Every conceivable rate, maybe it's a New York thing, maybe it's whatever, the era. Veils, abayas, Latino, black, white, this, every, and I know you can't say this, but you could probably guess, maybe sexuality, sort of, It was an ecumenical, this beautiful melange of humanity. Incredible. Here's what we noticed. You ready? No Christmas signs. No Christmas signs. No Christmas music. Virtually nothing Christmas. Nothing. And thank you very much, Kimberly. Please like the likes. Please subscribe to this. Thank you very much for reminding me. But no Christmas songs. No nothing. Nothing. Rap and all that. Nothing. Is it hip hop or rap? I don't care. That was it. But filled with people. Okay. Then we're not done yet. Feeling I don't like this because I liked Christmas. Remember when people said, "Oh my God, the Christmas, they're starting so early." Remember that? They're starting in October. Oh my God, I'm hearing the music. Would you? I can't believe it. The Christmas shows, the Christmas commercials. Now there's no Christmas, nothing. I don't want to sound like Bill O'Reilly, who I think is the most boring human being who is like the most obvious. And I wrote a book. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. He wrote a book on the death of Cochise. Yeah, I'm buying that. Okay, whatever. Whatever you want. Sure. Yeah, I'll read it. But he used to do these things all the time. The end of Christmas. Why, in a gap in Winnetka, somebody was fired for not saying Happy Holidays. We're Christmas. And I thought, but and I used to always say, where is this no Christmas you're talking about? I'd love to go there. And I used to kind of joke about this because I used to think that, but it's true. Do you notice it? There's no Christmas. Nothing. Nothing. And if it's Christmas, the themes are all dark. Now, Halloween, different story. How do I know that? Go to Party City. What's a new movie? Instead of Silent Night, it's called Violent Night. Violent Night versus Silent Night. You see what's going on here? You see what's happening? This is by design. This is the end of tradition. Don't you understand that? So then I thought, oh God, I'm not done yet. This is my life. I want you to hear this. Because I'm always taking this in. No music, this and that. Crazy guy in the parking lot. Okay. Then we went to another place, which I love, where I got this, of course. Dollar Tree. Greatest store in the world. That's $1.25, but still, come on. And it was packed. And what are they buying? Christmas stuff. Oh my, am I right, honey? Christmas things you can imagine. Bags and bows and trees and this and oh God. And I said, yes, yes. And as we're waiting in line, there was a little girl behind us, African-American girl. I'm just trying to describe, not that it matters. She's with her, I think her mother and her grandmother, and she's singing Christmas songs. And I'm looking at her like, oh, they might probably thought, who's this guy looking at me? Because I wanted to cry. It's like, yes, sing it. It's okay. Sing it. Say it. It's okay. There's hope. I am not a Christmas person per se. It's a tradition. Tradition is your connection to the past, to the foundation. If I go to your country and I go to your wherever, and I want you to show me the ice cream parlor that's been open for the longest time. Show me the town square. Show me something. Like the other night we saw in little town Bloomfield, kind of Tony Soprano country, sort of. There was this, they're lighting these trees and people are lit. I love that. Not because I want Christmas per se, not because I'm into the Christmas thing per se, but because tradition is a sign. You know what? I don't have any problems with, takes on Santa. Remember Bad Santa? One of the best movies ever. With Billy, Bob Thornton? Billy, yeah. Absolutely a wonderful. Remember that? Remember the movie Bad Santa? Remember the story? I love it. I don't know what year they came out. Bad Santa. Now you're going to say, oh, it was terrible. It was a great, great story. It was a wonderful story. Willie T. Stokes. Remember this one? And what happened at the end? He meets this kid, and it was horrible. It was a bit profane, but it was basically a bully. He protects this kid. The message was great. I don't have any problem with that. I don't care about violence, but I don't want it to replace things. That's all I'm going to say. Now, I'm going to tell you something which is going to be the most frightening to you and the most threatening to you, and you're not going to like anything I say, and it's about the complete and total waste of time of social media. I just want to share this with you. I just want to share this with you because there is a reason why I'm saying this, and there's a reason why it's important. But before I forget, number one, January 14th, at the Cutting Room, I want to see you. We're going to do a live, me on stage for an hour and a half. It's closer to 2 hours. And we cover everything, and it's like nothing you've ever seen. Great food, great venue. You and me with your questions. We're going to pass around the mic. It's going to be interactive music. I'm telling you, nobody does this. Nobody does this in any show because that would ruin the rhythm. And sometimes, let's face it, if you're Dave Chappelle, would you want to hand a mic out to his audience? Or anybody else? No. It'll destroy the continuity. You are the continuity. This is what I do every day. This is what I do every day. Have you ever seen one of the most boring people? You know that guy, what's his name? Maniscalco, what's his name? Sebastian Maniscalco. Great on the stage. Have you ever heard him do a podcast? It is death. Absolute death. One time, Gilbert Gottfried came on WABC. Death. One of the worst talk show hosts ever in the history of the medium, Joy Behar. One of the worst. Because it wasn't, So anyway, January 14th, tickets are available now. Go online, cutting room, but right here in this YouTube piece and my Twitter page at Lionel Media, there it is. Now, second of all, I want to explain to you, as you know very simply, this you know all about, how dangerous these times are. And you understand the severity and the necessity of making sure that your family is taken care of during food shortages. That's why My Patriot Supply is going the extra mile to make their emergency food as affordable as humanly possible. How are they doing it? Good question. They're taking $250 off their 3-month emergency food kit, which is the minimum your family should have. And this kit provides delicious, easy-to-make breakfast, lunches, dinners, drinks, and snacks for one person for 3 solid months. It's time to make sure that you give each member of your family, while you're able to save $250 during this timely sale, which ends soon, to give them this. It's called food. It's called life. Remember, My Patriot Supply is the nation's largest preparedness company with millions of families already protected. These 3-month kits are in stock right now and ready to go. Your order ships fast and free and arrives in unmarked boxes for your privacy. So go to preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com. And those who know what's coming are using today to prepare. Are you? Preparewithlionel.com. Okay. Now this may be one of the biggest problems for you to understand, but I'm going to try to see if I can help you with this. Social media is a complete and total waste of time. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Do me a favor. The next time you want, do you have friends of yours who have Twitter? I know you're going to say, oh, I don't like Twitter. Okay, fine. Okay. Last night, somebody tried to get me into an argument on Twitter. I said, olive oil is 100% fat. He says, no, it's HDL. I said, no, that's a lipoprotein. I'm talking about fat. It's oil. You're confusing HDL and L. No, HDL is good for you. I said, that oil is not H. I said, why do I bother? But do yourself a favor. Do you know anybody who's got a phone with a Twitter account? Ask them. Do you mind if I just, can I just see your phone? Do what I say. Get their phone and look at it. I'm gonna look through it, and then you'll see, oh my God, this looks nothing like mine. Looks nothing like mine. Who are these people? Who are these? Where's my stuff? Is this yours? Yeah. What is this crap? What is this? That's my world. It's not like you're in a car and you can look at this window or that window, basically the same scenery. Not with social media. Social media, different worlds. What is this? This is all Jets football and... Let me explain something. Let's assume that we all were in a movie. Let's say me and Andy and Vinny and Nikki, all of us were in a prison. We're in Attica in 1970. It's horrible. We said, this is horrible. The cops are beating us. We're living in this inhumane conditions. What do we do? What do we do? So the warden says, hey, look at them. They're getting restless. Call in the couple of the leaders. Bring in the guy from the, whatever it is, from each faction or group. Bring them on in. Bring them in. Let's sit down. All right. I understand that you've got a lot of grievances. You better believe it, warden. This is inhumane, okay? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set up a newsletter. And you can use our facilities to put this newsletter out every single day if you like. Or as many times a day as you want. It's up to you. We'll give you we don't have internet, but we've got, mimeograph and ditto machines and Xerox. And you can put these things, and you can put everything you want. You write anything you want. Anything. Name the guards. Name the abuses. Name the contraband that you see being ferried in here. Go ahead. Do it. Thanks, warden. Thank you. And they're passing these out. and the warden's sitting in his office, kind of like Shawshank. He's looking out in the yard and he goes, look at that. Look at that. They don't realize one thing. What? It's not going anywhere other than the prison. They're just talking to each other. They think they're accomplishing. They think because they've exposed something. They think because they've exposed, Correctional Officer Worthington, badge number 15107, that this is going to change anything. No. I've created the illusion of revealing the truth. I've created the illusion that they're getting to the bottom of this. I've created this fantasy that everything is better now. That everything is, what's the word? That everything is. That they're getting to the bottom of this. That there's an investigation going. Because they're talking about it. See? And that's what's happening with Elon Musk and Twitter and Hunter and James Baker and the FBI and Miranda Devine and the laptop from hell and Matt Taibbi and everything. They're like this. And they're talking about this. It's great. Finally, we've exposed it. Yes. And just like these prisoners in this prison, they're waiting for the white hats to show up. They're waiting for the authorities to come. Why? Well, we've been writing this. We've exposing it. Anybody who reads this, what was that? Anybody who reads this, what was that again? Anybody who reads our newsletter, nobody's reading it. Nobody's reading the newsletter. Nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about Twitter and what? Howard Baker? He was what? He was the what? This poor Miranda Devine thinks that, I mean, it's a great book. And listen, God bless her for doing this, but you think if we could have walked to anybody in that mall, thousands of people, at any of them, and said, tell me anything about the latest involving Twitter, Elon Musk, and they wouldn't be able to tell you. Because if you look at their Twitter account, they don't talk about it. Nobody's talking about this. Nobody cares about this. Yesterday, a Giant stadium. I could have gone on the field. Does anybody? They might have been a little different demographic, but nobody cares about this. Anybody care about SBF? Huh? No. But if you watch Charles Gasparino or whoever, you'll think this is the biggest story. Because why? Because within this particular prison called Fox News Business, that's all they talk about. And therefore, it's going to be the biggest thing ever because something this cataclysmic, this phantasmagoric must be revealed because of it. Nope. Nobody knows anything about it. Social media are the most incredible. You don't know what they do. You know that stuff during oil leaks, you throw it out in the water and it collects all the oil into these big blobs and you can easily, scoop them up. That's what social media do. It pulls everybody together in these huge, these congealed thrombotic masses. And it just contains you. It contains you. Let me give you another example. I just did this at LionelMedia.com. I just did this. It's so... Because I can talk longer and I can go into details. This is my paid subscription site. But I gave this analogy. And it goes something like this. Very, very simple. Let's say in when was, by the way, Bad Santa was 2003, by the way. MLK speech Lincoln. That was in 1963. How many people were there? There was about 200,000 people. 200,000 people came to hear him. One of the most important speeches ever. I have a dream. It was seminal. There was nothing like it. 153 likes. Please, my friends, like the show, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the buzzer. You must help us with these algorithms. Please, I beg you. Now, let's assume I'm looking out and somebody says, oh my God, look at these people standing here singing We Shall Overcome. Oh my God, there's Harry Belafonte. Oh, there's Charlton Heston. Oh, there's Marlon Brando. Oh, no. Oh, here. Oh, let's assume I'm a real racist, a real bad guy from the old days. Not somebody who tweets some things, but okay. Now, I'm standing there with Herman Talmadge or Bull Connor or I don't know, whoever you want. Somebody says, I don't know what we're going to do. And I say, I know what we're going to do. I will destroy this in a minute. What are you talking about? You're not going to do anything violent. No. And I would look at all these people standing there, waiting, buses, dignified, with their sign, holding a candle, holding their children, standing there, white, black, nuns, people, young, old, just these perfect battalions of sober and focused Americans. And what would I do? How would I destroy it? If I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be passing out this to you. This, assuming this is mouse was, this is called social media. This is an iPhone or a mobile phone. And it has a camera on it. It has a camera that will allow you to take a picture of yourself and this event. It will allow you to use this moment for you to memorialize it and add something to it, to let the world know where you are, what you are seeing, what is happening, to memorialize, to microblog. This is a term you don't know, but I'm from the future, and I'm passing these out because this must be remembered. And then I go back, and the racist, horrible people say, why did you do that? And I said, watch this. Within 20 minutes, people will be like this. They'll forget the entire event. They'll get into arguments with each other. They'll do selfies. They'll start using emojis. They will forget the stage. They will forget the event. They will forget Dr. King. They will forget the words. They might get a selfie with Marlon Brando, but it will destroy the moment. Because what social media do is it absorbs all of the nutrients from an event, all of the benefits of life and everything you can imagine. It takes all of this and absorbs it and destroys it. It destroys it before your very eyes. It's the most incredible thing in the world. That's what Elon Musk knows. And that's what he hopes you never understand. You see, this is the essence of it. We have a lot of battles. Let me ask you a question. Is Elon Musk the richest man in the world? Okay, let's assume he is. Is he the most powerful? No. Would you rather be rich or powerful? Powerful. Rich means nothing. Rich means nothing. There are people in Hollywood who are so rich, You have no idea. They couldn't get a commercial cut. Nobody listens to them. They have no power. They haven't had a deal or a hit in a long time. They have no influence, but they're rich. There are people who own Elon Musk, own him. The idea of rich, the idea of here you've got this money. What are you going to do with it? Do you think, Elon, you're going to go up against the shadow government, the cryptocracy, and you're going to bring us down? Are you kidding me? Don't even kid me, man. Don't even kid me. Don't even make me laugh. Now let me ask you a question. It's a very simple question. What do you want to be in life? Do you want to just report stuff, or do you want to change stuff? Let me ask you in a different way. And I asked this at LionelMedia.com. I went through a whole thing about this. Let's say if somebody says, I want to do something. What do you want to do? Well, I want to work with cancer patients. Okay. Would you like to do surgery? Would you like to? Well, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a surgeon. I'm not. Okay. Wait. How would you like to work with, not focus groups, with chapters where people can talk to, group therapy and talking groups and support groups, and you can lead them and you can teach them. You can teach them how to adjust, how to deal with it, how to handle the rigors of it, how to deal with a loved one. So many things. You can deal with substance abuse as a professional, or you can start an AA meeting. They're both important. One will actively stop the disease. The other one helps you maybe stop it. It's a bad example with AA, but helps you maybe deal with it, cope with it. But this one will stop it. Surgery, medicine, pharmacology, oncology, that will stop, that will cure, that will remove, that will destroy cancer. But group therapy won't. Group therapy is a different story. Group therapy is more of helps you understand it. That's what social media are. They're group therapy. They don't stop anything. Nothing. It doesn't, but they create it. They create the impression. Look at this drop. Look at my likes. Look at my metrics. Look at my favorite. Look how many people follow me. And it'd be the same thing if you went to an event, hand out phones. What's the first thing they do? They tell people, bring your phones in. If you go to anything, especially if you go to, if it's government, they ask you for your phones because they don't want you recording them, but there are other reasons as well. But the thing that's incredible, the thing that's important, is that what we do, and what happens for the most part, is we don't accomplish anything. We maybe try to help. We create the impression, by virtue of our being here, that there's some form of collective momentum that is coming, and that there's something being said. Wow, SBF is the biggest story. I heard somebody say, I'm not going to mention the name, but 2 or 3 people said that the Twitter story is the biggest scandal in American history. And if I told you their names, you wouldn't believe it. I'd say, what? I've heard people say that this is worse than Watergate. What? Because they speak hyperbolic. They speak through this hyperbole. I gave you a list yesterday of how to appear on TV, how you have to think about where your position is. You must speak out of context. And if you want to destroy something, let's say there is a me. Let me give you an example. Again, if I have something which is important, let's say I represent a group of people, let's say human rights group, children, whatever. And I come into direct opposition to some other group of people who say, I don't like this guy. He's talking about human rights, and that's going to come right towards us. And you know who we are, and they know who we are, and this is not good. I want to shut this guy up. What could I do? How do you shut down the opposition? Now, you can think of obvious reasons. You can think of some kind of, terrible Pinkerton-like agent provocateur. No. I'll take care of it. What's your group? Well, let's say it's an animal rights group, and I represent butchers. I'll take care of it. Is that the group that's bothering you? Yes. Okay, good. I'm going to get somebody who was the most obnoxious person in the world to go over into that group and to be the spokesperson. I want somebody loud, garish, obstreperous, fatuous, voluble, name it. Some big, obnoxious freak that goes over. It's like an agent provocateur. Absolutely. Go into that group and speak for them. I want them to be the voice of veganism or plant-based. And within no time, people will despise those people. Not because the cause doesn't make any sense, because they will focus on the person who is there. They will focus on the individual and not the cause itself. And that's what we're seeing right now. As soon as I see certain people all of a sudden rise to the top, I realize this is going nowhere. Because they absorb what's left. It's like pouring this stuff out on a grease slick or an oil slick, and it combines everything. I wish I could give you the names, but I won't. But the people who I know who do more to destroy a movement, a thought, an idea. They destroy it because they suck all the oxygen, and it becomes about them and not the cause. You will never hear somebody say, oh, no. It's not about me. It's about the cause. You ever see organizations that just tweet about the name of the organization, really nothing about anybody in particular? No way. Have you ever tweeted an idea versus an idea with a picture, preferably, or an idea with an article? Always have a picture or an article for them to read. Nobody's going to read an idea by itself. They're not going to do that. They need to have something else. Consequently, whatever attracts people, you get the wrong people in there, and that's it. So what I'm trying to tell you is that social media collectively it's an illusion. You're creating, it takes all of it blows you up. What does that mean? In wrestling, there's a term, to blow up. Wrestling is when you use all your strength. If you don't pace yourself right, if you're new in the business, if you don't know what you're doing, you're in the ring. And if I want to shoot with you, and you're doing a full body slam or something, and I'm not working with you, and I'm not pushing off, I don't care how strong you are. To pick somebody dead weight, to pick them up, if I weigh 300 pounds, I got to work with you. But if I want to teach you a lesson, I just don't. And you'll pick me up halfway and I'll stop. And I'll just collapse you. You'll blow up. That's what happens. You use all of your energy at something. You say, whew, that was good. What do we do now? Let's go out to eat. That's what happens. Did you call your congressman? Nope. It's like the people in the prison who, hey, we got a new newsletter. That's great. Whew. I'm going to sit down. It was a long one to write. It sure was. This is your best ever. Thank you. And it goes nowhere but in the prison. Nobody ever sees it. Nobody hears about it. Nothing's ever done. But you believe it because there you've got something to show for it. And here I am. I got 2.5 million views. And that's the way that is. And you'll talk about things. Well, do you think that Herschel Walker, I don't know, is Warnock? Well, I'm not sure. Well, do you think that Kanye West, is he anti-Semitic? Well, was Trump, should hate speech be? And it puts you into this corner and you start talking and you use all of your energy up and you'll say, whew, boy, that was something. Hey, I sure like being involved. Yeah, it's like being in the prison, writing a newsletter that nobody else reads. And all of a sudden, if you could take a poll, go to legislative assistants. They needed so many people just to answer the phone, to open the mail, to read the emails. Oh my God, look at this. I got to write this stuff because this is all public information. You got to answer this. We got 7,000. How many calls? Oh my God. We got to hire more people. And they hired staff to answer mail. Mail. I know this. Social media comes in. Ta-da! Phone stops ringing. They're busy watching Fox News or CNN or whatever. They're not calling anybody. Jim Jordan's, he has a time of his life. He's just walking around. I mean, there's a few diehards, but not like you. Because they're watching him on TV. Oh, I'm sorry, Congressman Jordan cannot meet with you right now. But he's on Larry Kudlow. Ooh, thank you. Thanks. Great work, Jim. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me, going on Larry Kudlow is not legislative work. What did you introduce in, well, I didn't really introduce anything. Social media creates this illusion, this vacuum, this world, this parallel universe where all this activity is going on. Look at this lightning in a bottle. Look at all this. Wow, look at this. Look at the momentum. Look how upset we are. Nothing's happening. And they are laughing like you cannot believe. This is beautiful. This is just, it is so monumentally obvious to me. But that's that. That's that. Now, let me tell you something. I want you to wrap yourself around what I'm saying. Wrap yourself in the idea. Wrap yourself in the thoughts that I have provided you. And speaking of wrapping, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, /Lionel is here for you. Love that segue. How many times do I have to tell you? We saw a big Bed Bath & Beyond. They're nice people, good people, I'm sure. They mean no harm. But anybody who tells Mike Lindell that he can't sell his American-made products, I'm putting up the link right there, because of an ideology, I have no idea. MyPillow.com is there for you. And I want you to go and look. Use promo code Lionel, get a free gift, and just go through the list of everything they have. That's from everything you would want in bed, in linen, blankets, duvets, covers, quilts, slippers, sandals, full body, but everything you can imagine. Thanks to you, or thanks to mypillow.com. Go right now and see our good friends. They support us and we support them. Just go through you'll be, the overstock sale? Forget it. Like something you've never seen before. mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, and if you insist upon a telephone number, which is your right. Call 800-645-4965. 800-645-4965. We can get no cell phone service in the apartment. None. You got to go to the window. Hello. We're like, hello. And we're trying to open a window. Like somehow that's going to help. That's why I got to have a landline. Is anybody here I'm getting numbers from McCormickshire, Vermont, over and over. I never answer them, but I'm getting these strange calls from all over the world. Thanks to you. Thanks to social media. Oh, they're so smart, social media. Let me ask you something. Who is the most powerful person in the world? And there's no way to know. But if somebody asked me, let's say somebody was from another planet, and said, who is the most powerful person in the world today? Who is it? Who is this person? What would you say? What would you say? And you're not going to think this one through, but I'm going to tell you. It's somebody you've never heard of, Never heard of their name, never heard of an organization. They don't have an organization. Never heard of them. This is the most powerful. Never heard of them. Never. Because if they are known, that eliminates them immediately from any consideration. You'll never know how this thing works. You'll never know the organizations that get things done. If you work for something and you say, I want you to help us, well, who are you? CIA, NSA, FBI, military intel? What are you? We don't have a name. There's no card. You're not going to get a card. There's no name there. There's no name. We don't have a parking lot. We don't have a building. The people who get things done would prefer you not align themselves. CIA would rather say, please don't get it. No. FBI, no. NSA, nobody talks about the NSA anymore. You notice that? Not interested. Poor Snowden. Remember Snowden? And the NSA, who? Now it's FBI. Back to the FBI, full circle. It was the FBI, CIA, NSA. Now we're back to the FBI. You're not going to know who these people are. There's no organization. There's not one person. When you talk about cabals, conspiracies, and consortia, it's not a named group. It doesn't work like that. By the way, I'm putting up a link. This is Mrs. L's brand new video on the notion of tradition. Tradition, as we say, is not what you think. I'm not a big Christmas fan per se. That's not why we're doing this. I'm pointing out the fact that when you lose a tradition, you lose the heart and soul of a people, of a country, of a culture. You never want to lose. Always add on to it, but never lose it. Never lose it. That's why it's so critical that we have always, quote, oldies music. I hate the notion of oldies. I have no. To me right now, Motown is as alive as anything out. The Temptations, Dennis Edwards, Levi, Four Tops, Marvin Gaye are as alive today and as valid. I listen to the music like it's not oldies, it's there. What is an oldie? If it comes out a minute ago, 5 minutes ago, 5 years, 50 years, that keeps tradition alive. Music is so important. When you hear music, it will remind you of something. Oh my God, I remember the first time I heard that. First time I heard Pancho and Lefty. I remember the first time with Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard. I did the old pulled over. Had to pull over and call because it was one of these very long AOR stations that they never talked. I had to call and say, who is this? I didn't know about Townsend's Van Zandt. First time I heard Pressure Sensitive by Ronnie Laws. I was in high school. I pulled over in front of Tampa Stadium. I remember there was a phone booth. I never heard anything like it. Clavinet, Fender Rhodes, Ronnie Laws. Oh my God. When you hear a song, it brings you back. It's one of those things that connects you. And you will remember, and you can be 50, 60 years old and remember something. I was listening today to Butterfly Blue from the Iron Butterfly. I heard this first when I was 12. 12. And I'm listening to it now, and that 12-year-old was pretty hip because I'm listening to the same song today. I'm not listening to the Archies, Andy Kim, which is very good, by the way. Believe it or not. Think about that. That's tradition. If they took that music away, they take my life away. They take my memory away. They take it all away. They take my everything away, which is the most important thing in the world not to do. I was watching a documentary, and at the end of this, I'm listening, okay, I always like to see the end, the trailers. And what music do I hear? Nick Drake. Nick Drake takes me back to a particular time, a particular frame of reference, what I was thinking. what I was thinking then. Now here I am now. Everything else is different, but the music is there. It's like anchors you. When you hear a song, that connects you. It's like an addiction. It goes into your heart. You understand this? This is the most important thing in the world. To understand what tradition means. And you cannot ever lose that. The moment you lose it, you destroy a society. I look at what they've done to the Native Americans. Remember the hair? Remember the story about hair? They took hair samples. They cut the hair of Native Americans. Yeah. And they returned the hair. What?
Harvard did it.
Harvard. Yeah. What did they take the hair for? What was it? Samples of... How do we do this? How does this happen? And do you think that this couldn't happen today? Well, not with social media. Really? It's even easier now with social media. I just told you. It creates a distraction. It creates a distraction. What's also interesting about things now, people create the idea of impetus, momentum. For example, I will never believe anybody tells me that Taylor Swift is as big a star as they say. Do you believe that? Do you believe Taylor Swift? Do you think people are crazy about Taylor Swift like they say? Do you really think that? I know she's very popular. But do you think that? Absolutely not. No way. Absolutely no way. But they can create the idea by virtue of social media and influencers and that sort of thing. Always step back. Always step back and understand the psychology that is going on. Everybody must understand this, the psychology of what is happening. And also be as adept as you are in knowing what to listen to, know what to reject and whom to reject. Remember, the people who have the loudest voice, the loudest volume, which is redundant, the most, they have no idea what they're talking about. That's all. One more time, this is Mrs. L's latest video. Please watch it. Follow her, Lens Warriors at YouTube. It's so terrific. You have no idea. She is so unique. Nails it. And she doesn't necessarily sound anything like a lot of clowns who all of a sudden said, hey, I like what she's doing. And they said, there's plenty of room for me. I think, are you really in for the children? Is that no, I'm in for me. It's about me. But if that's the angle, great. Preparewithlionel.com. I'm telling you right now, while you can and while everything is relatively calm, it's not going to be like that forever. There's a storm coming right there. Preparewithlionel.com for food preparation and mypillow.com. And also remember a couple of things which is very, very important, very, very critical for me to explain to you. And I say this, let me see. I say this. Am I still there? Do you see me?
I see you.
Okay, good. That's always good. Hang on a minute. I'd like the likes too, honey, but you ask people for likes and it's too much work. Too much work because... And I also love the idea, and I want to say this in a very nice way. There are some people who come on board every day and they're wonderful and they say they don't care at all about what anybody is saying. They merely want to talk about themselves. They want to move to the front of the line and say, and this is okay, but just I don't want to be too specific, but remember, in every group, whether you're at the mall, at a stadium, whatever it is, there's always people who always want to say, I've got to say something. Because right now, by God, I'm going to get to the top of the line and I want you to hear me. And I appreciate that. Just try your best to be relatively correct. All right, my friends, have a great and a glorious day. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Follow me at lionelmedia.com if you want to hear the good stuff. This is a little, shall we say, this is for polite company. I'll leave it at that. All right, have a great and glorious day. See you tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.